So I have this Word document. That I thought we could go through. It has like a lot of good stuff on it. And oh, that is not it. That's not it. Hold on. So I thought we would all go through this together. And then I have a Kahoot that I think I sent you, Melissa, that I thought we would all go through together. I have a YouTube video that I think is really good, but it's 25 minutes long and it's like lecture style. So I feel like you guys, I'm just going to send you that. We don't have to watch that here. But I thought we could all take turns like reading stuff off of this. Des, are you able to do that? Well, do you want to, like, we can all go through and like just take turns reading chunks of this doc?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool. So I'll start muscle. So type 1 is red/slow twitch muscle fibers. They're needed for endurance activities like long distance running and cycling and need more aerobic energy. So do you guys want to
Type 2,
okay,
white, fast, twitch muscle fibers need less oxygen and are used in short-term maximum force exertion like sprinting, jumping, and weightlifting. Resistance and weight training increases muscle fiber size and strengthens and thickens connective tissues, resulting in larger muscle and greater muscular strength and endurance.
Gracilis, inner thigh muscle that runs between the pubic bone and the tibia. Gastrocnemius is the muscle in the lower leg. Gluteus minimus is a third of the 4 buttocks muscles. Gluteus maximus is the largest. Gluteus medius is between gluteus minimus and then tensor fasciae latae is the smallest.
Okay. Exercise science principles. Specificity must exercise the specific body part, muscle, or sport movements and techniques that one wants to improve. I'll just read all of these. Adaptation, the body adapts to exercise so that with regular practice, certain activities become easier. Overload, the body only responds beyond its normal level if new stimuli or additional pressures are introduced and improves athletic ability. Individual differences, not everybody will attain the same results from the same training programs and levels. Progression must progress at a certain individual rate to get results. Use/disuse, use it or lose it. And also, you guys, a tip that I kept on talking about last time we did this, like for me, my hardest thing was there was always like 2 right answers. So I think like breaking down each choice as far as you possibly can is the like biggest tip I can offer. But yeah, that was my biggest problem, finding like 2 right answers.
Are these just the answers to the last Praxis test? I saw like I watched the other video of the quizzes with like the 10 questions, and I feel like this was all like the stuff that was on it. Unless it's just like the review in general.
This I downloaded from this, like it was like peteachers.org or something. I just downloaded this because I thought all of this was like good stuff to know for it, but I don't think it's not the exact same. I think this has like way more stuff than that one did. But I'm going to send you guys all of this. Like I thought this would be a good thing. Like you guys can make flashcards for yourself or something like that with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really not, the Praxis too is like, it's hard, but like, it's more just like random health questions. Like if you can identify like the Gracilis and random stuff like that, it's just random anatomy stuff. I thought, but, and a lot of like teaching management stuff. And there's stuff about that in this document too, but like, I don't know. It's just breaking down each possible answer, I think will help.
And each question's different, like every time you take the test, right?
I think so. I passed mine on the first one, but I mean, I'm sure the questions are pretty similar. I barely passed by like 2 points.
I know, everyone says that.
Yeah, but
Did you study for the first one or no?
Yeah, I studied for the first one. That's the other thing that I would say is I would buy the practice test. They're like $20 from the ETS website, or you can get, there's two, and I would get both. You can buy both. You get a deal on them if you buy both at the same time, but if you buy them individually, which I ended up doing because I thought I'd only need one, but I ended up getting both, and they're each like $20, but I think you pay like $30 or something, right, Jess? If you get both at the same time.
Yeah,
But
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the way I studied was I took those over and over and over again till I could literally click through the test just because I memorized the wording of the question and I knew the answer just because I'd looked at it so many times. I did that, and just doing that, like, they're not the same questions, but they are worded the same. And like, if you know those questions, you're going to be able to connect them to other questions that are going to be on the test. Like, I really recommend buying the ETS tests for sure.
I'm going to second that. I recommend buying them, and I definitely recommend buying both of them because the first version, you could tell by the way the questions are, is an older version, and the second version's newer. And there are a good amount of questions on the Praxis 2 that are from the second test.
Yeah.
So I recommend buying both. And I studied the same way Olivia did, just going through both the tests over and over and over again. But when you're doing that, make sure that you're actually reading the question and not just saying, oh, I read the first couple words and I know this question, so it's that answer. Make sure you actually know what the question is and know what the answers are. Because I've done that for multiple tests where I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. And then I get to the test and I'm like, I never studied this.
All right. I think I'll do body shape too. So ectomorph, a long, narrow, thin, I think that means thin, or they meant thick shape with minimal, or thin shape with minimal fat. Oh, edit that. Thin shape with minimal fat, long distance running, and high jump would be something they'd be good at, I guess. Endomorph, fat, pear shape, narrow shoulders, wide hips, small ankles and wrists, more fat on the torso, arms and legs. Shot putting and wrestling would be something that body type would be good at, I guess. Mesomorph, muscular, often wedge shaped. Wide shoulders and narrow hips, strong limbs and little body fat, gymnasts and swimming. I guess those are the usual athletes with that body type. Melissa, do you want to read the next one?
Perceptual motor abilities. The first one, control precision. So hockey puck handling, rate control, which is race car driving, aiming, which is texting, response orientation and choice reaction time, which is football and quarterbacking, reaction time, which is sprinting, manual dexterity is basketball dribbling, finger dexterity is typing, arm hand steadiness is surgery, wrist and finger speed is speed stacking.
Des, do you want to do the next one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Physical proficiencies, explosive strength, standing long jumps. Second, static strength, weightlifting. Third, trunk strength, pole vaulting. Fourth, extend flexibility, yoga. 5, dynamic flexibility, squat thrust. 6, limb movement speeds, javelin throwing. Stamina marathon, last one. Both gender perceptions, participations, no body contact, agility, and lower body strength. Running, ultimate frisbee, capture the flag. More upper body strength, team by skill level to prevent injury.
Okay. Is that kinesthesis? The sense of the body part, positions and movements, muscles, tendons, and joints contain receptors enabling kinesthesis. At equilibrium, sense of balance, vestibular system in the inner ear is the sensory for equilibrium. Whole training parts, breaking down into its components pieces and teaching those individually is worth than teaching the whole skill. Maturation, genetically determined growth and development Not anymore. Historically right, old idea. Earlier motor skills like crawling and walking are more strongly influenced by maturation, but higher skills are not just based on genetics. Motor development process is not simply passive in nature, but it is also active. It's all independent learning, maturation, and experience and their interaction. I'll let one of you guys read the next one.
Teaching methods.
Teaching methods for promoting psychomotor learning. Task reciprocal method. Use stations to integrate the student's learning of specific tasks into the learning setup. Second, command/direct method. Teacher-centered task instruction is utilized. Give clear explanations of learning goals, explain skills to be learned, and demonstrate skills. Then students practice the new skills. Contingency contract approach offers specified rewards to students, which are contingent upon their completing the indicated tasks. Reinforces psychological behaviors.
I guess that one's like the behavior contract things that like bad kids have to sign. Factor that influence the development of motor skills. Factors that influence motor development skills. Okay, muscle tone. Hypotonia, low muscle tone, causing floppiness, weakness, poor balance, Down syndrome. Hypertonia, high muscle tone, causing stiffness and difficult moving, which is cerebral palsy. 2, strength, relative force of muscular contractions against resistance. 3, endurance, sustained exertion over time, entailing multiple factors, including muscle tone, strength, cardiovascular, and pulmonary function and movement and motivation. Balance, equilibrium, interacting with sensory info, including sight, proprioception, muscle tone, and strength. Motor planning, coordinate systems, control perception, movement, intensity, speed, etc. Sensory integration, interpreting environmental sensory input correctly and responding with appropriate motor activity.
Synapsis, refined motor skills, self-assessment, encouraged to reflect about current levels of skills, more motivated to advance these levels. Feel control over their development process. Observational learning, correct performance demonstration by teachers, then they could be trying to follow verbal directions. Principle of feedback, positive feedback, motivation, interest. Negative feedback, recognize and correct their errors, sometimes motivational, not to get bored of their unprogressive results. Feedback timing, equally important as feedback content.
Effort awareness, knowledge of time, force, and balance, and how these are related to physical movements and athletic activities. Body awareness, have students touch various body parts and form different shapes with their body. Spatial awareness, provide different size and shaped objects like boxes, balls, hoops, and then move around, over, under, into, out of, in front, in back of, toward, and away from them. Torque, rotational version of force, foot, pound, Newton meter. The largest, heaviest body parts are slowest and move first. That I remember actually being one that messed me up a lot. The largest and heaviest body parts are slowest and move first. To me, that doesn't sound right. In my head, I always would think smaller is faster, but that I remember messing me up a lot. So bigger ones move. Smaller body parts. Yeah, small. Okay, the largest, heaviest body parts are slowest and move first. Smaller body parts are faster and move last. Force is both simultaneous and sequential. Center of gravity equals center of mass, which equals center of pressure. Do any of you guys want to take it from biomechanics?
Biomechanics, initial or inertial. How do you say that?
I think it's inertial.
Inertial. All objects have resisting changes in states of motion. Coordination, continuum. The goal or purpose of a movement determines the most effective timing of segmental movements or muscle actions. Example, extend their hip, knees, and ankles currently to lift a heavy object. Segmental interaction, forces operating in a system of rigid line bodies are transferable through joints and links.
Des, you want to do locomotor skills?
Locomotor skills: hopping, jumping with one foot, galloping, fast gait of the horse, one foot as the leader and the other as follower, alternating sides. Jumping, keeping feet together, pushing and landing with both feet. Example, jump rope. Side sliding, also known as shuffle. Spread the arms, lead with one foot and raise in the middle. Leaping, lead with one foot and leap over an object, landing with the other foot. Straight leg, use arms wide. Skipping, to march, raising one knee high and hopping on the other foot. Step, hop, alternating sides. Non-locomotor skills: lifting weight, squeezing a ball, balancing, swaying, turning, twisting, swinging. Bending, movement around a joint between two body parts. Dodging, sharply avoiding a person or an object. Leaning away or ducking. Stretching, extending or hyperextending the joints to straighten or lengthen the body parts. Twisting, rotates the body or body parts around an axis, having stationary base. Turning, moving the body through space in a circle, releasing the body of support. Swinging, circular or that's supposed to be pendular movements, or movements below an axis of the body or body parts. Swaying, like swinging, but above an axis. Pushing, applying force against a person or object to move one's body away or move the person or objects away. Pulling, exerting force to move people or objects closer to one's body. Let students create a warm-up routine and have them identify the muscles and joint use.
I can do it if you want, Des. If you want to like take a break, you rather.
I actually have to go.
Okay.
But I'm gonna watch the YouTube video.
Okay, cool.
But okay, thank you guys.
Thanks for hopping on, Des.
Bye, Des.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there were 3.
Yeah. Okay. Baseball requires locomotor skills for players to run to the bases after a hit, run to catch fly balls, non-locomotor skills as twist bodies to field, catch the ball, batting, lean backwards or forwards to field balls, reach out to tag runners. Catchers also move bodies while squatting to catch pitches without changing their base of support. It involves manipulative skills for pitching, catching, fielding, and batting.
Different types of sports. Track and field, pole vault, clearing a high bar by propelling one's body with the pole, shot put, swinging and flinging a small heavy iron shot for the maximum distance, javelin, throwing a long spear-like projectile for a distance, discus, throwing a flat disc-shaped projectile for distance. Heptathlon is combining 7 events. Decathlon is 10 events. Rally ball is easier version of tennis. Body awareness is body movements such as flexion, extension, rotation, and shapes. Space concepts is demonstrate directions, pathways, levels, and reaches during activities. Movement quality, understand and apply energy and force, time flow, balance concepts to psychomotor skills, starting and stopping without falling, bending, knees to lower center of gravity.
Okay. I'll go ahead. Just get a break. You just read a lot. Health-related fitness elements, faster breathing and heart rate defined components. FITT, frequency, intensity, time, and type.
Olivia.
Yeah.
Before you keep reading, Melissa, I'm going to say right now that all of this health information is very important.
Yeah, it's like a lot of random anatomy stuff.
Very
Did
and
you?
like very health based, like
Yeah.
what kind of drug does this? Like really random stuff that we don't know.
We don't know,
And that I don't feel like I was taught that. That wasn't like ding ding, gotta know that.
Right.
You know
But
what I mean?
like, I see that with the standardized test, the BCLA. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised at all.
So the stuff that's coming up, I think, is pretty important. Sorry, Olivia, go ahead.
No, it's fine that you're right. But like that's why I thought this document was so good, was because it does have a lot of like random stuff like that. And this would be like really good stuff to make flashcards out of. But yeah.
This. Or did you pick this up?
I was Googling, I literally have been going through Google looking up like free Praxis 2 PE materials and stuff. And this was like, I downloaded it from, I had to make an account, like a free account on, it was like peteachers.org or something. And it was like, just, you downloaded it from that website.
Oh, wow.
But I'll link to that. There might be more good stuff on that. I didn't really look through it. I just found this on it and I was like, oh, this is good.
Sorry again. Before you start reading, could you possibly, when we're done with the study session, could you make this into a PDF?
Yeah.
And then send me the link of that PDF?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Then I can share it on the YouTube video in the comments or whatever.
Cool. Okay. Ritalin, prescribed for treatment for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Depressant, alcohol, lapses in memory, marijuana impairs short-term memory and perception, stimulant, crack cocaine. NASPE, National Association for Sport and Physical Education, developed a comprehensive instructional framework for fitness education in PE. IFFEPE, resource set of materials to help students by guiding PE teachers and others in designing current, coherent, sequenced, integrated fitness education curriculum and instruction, holistic, treating all areas. The formatting of this is not so great. Okay, APE, adapted PE, participate, adaption to participate in PE under the federal Individuals with Disabilities Education Act.
Students were engaged in moderate to vigorous physical activity, MVPA, 45.3% of the class, average 21 minutes, 10.4 minutes per day. Institute of Medicine recommends MVPA 60 minutes per day, but only 23 minutes PE class a day, so only 10 minutes of MVPA. Motivation, 1, giving students freedom to choose. 2, modifying activities and skills and letting students do so. 3, give every student ideal challenges, fundamental movement skills, locomotor, manipulative, and stability, rotation, and balance. Solicited feedback is more beneficial. Aerobic, 1982, cardiovascular fitness, flexibility, and muscular strength. And atlantoaxial instability, a condition abnormality in either the bone or a ligament that allows too much movement where the first and second cervical vertebrae, no forward roll in tumbling gymnastics, but have then perform a long roll.
Okay. Learning styles, visuals, use graphics, auditory, more spoken, musical, and other sound cues, descriptions and directions, haptic, more physical, kinesthetic directions and descriptions. 80 out of 20 rule, 80% learn from 80-20 rule, 80% learn from teacher instruction or demonstration, 20% by doing. Heimlich maneuver and CPR only to those who is not speaking, coughing, or breathing. Psychomotor, cognitive, and affective domains in PE. Psychomotor domain is performance component whereby students acquire skills, physical skills through environmental exploration. Cognitive domain is the knowledge component whereby students think and relate their experience to learning. Affective domain is the personal, emotional, and social component whereby students interact with other people, developing a sense of self and others. Different types of assessments: snapshot, performance records, rubrics, student logs, student projects, written tests, and worksheets. Informal checklists, rating score, students survey, questionnaires, and interviews, students journal, self-recording. President's Challenge, assess and give students feedback about their levels of fitness. Fitnessgram, the student's level of muscular strength, aerobic capacity, flexibility, endurance, and body composition.
Assessment. Validity. An instrument measures what it claims and is intended to measure. Correct representation. Reliability gets the same or similar results across repeated administrations. Purpose. The first one, to gauge students' learning. 2, evaluate and improve instructions. 3, to communicate with students, parents, and administrators and identify gaps. 4, evaluate and modify programs. 5, to validate and support programs through consistently providing objective data. 6, to motivate students to learn through documenting their growth and improvement. Requirements, validity, reliability, objectivity, feasibility, and usefulness. PPT is planning and placement team. IEP, individualized education plan/program. TGMD, test of gross motor development, who takes TGMD for eligibility for APE. Not perform ability level in group settings. Scores below average in 2 or more parts of the school district's state physical fitness tests. Social behavior, impeding his own others learning more than 1/3 of class time. Scores 1.5, standard deviation or more or below the norm is in 2 or more part of a designated norm reference test. Hi, Greg. Biomechanics.
Hello, friends.
Physics concepts and forces, ballet, French, muscles are built, mitochondria, cellular organelles in muscle fiber, cells produce adenosine, I can never pronounce this, triphosphate, ATP supplies energy to muscles. And then carbohydrate, glycogen in muscle cells stores energy. When you work out, muscle contracts, contraction releases adenosine, triphosphate, ADP, above and beyond the blank, using preposition and physical moves, alphabet, hopscotch, improve balance and coordination, also gives students practice with the alphabet. SHAPE, the Society of Health and Physical Educators, nonprofit and the largest professional organization devoted to PE, sports, school health, dance, physical activity, and active lifestyle. JOPERD, Journal of Physical Education, Recreation, and Dane, Gradebook Pro, Apple app for assessment, attendance, and classroom management, enables teachers to use most of their time for teaching.
Okay, which of the following represents the most typical sequence of the 3 phases of motor learning for learners who are high school age or older? Cognitive, associative, autonomous, which of the following is the best initial step for teachers to take when in developing effective behavior management plans for students? Teachers should consider their own philosophy concerning behavior management. Wait, which is that answering like that question? Which of the following is the best initial step for teachers to take in developing effective behavioral management plans for students? Okay, teachers should consider their own philosophy. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. The federal law that prohibits discrimination based on the person's sex in any education program or activity that is a recipient of federal funds is known as Title IX of Education, Amendments of 1972. Which of the following is a key principle of teacher-student communication? Teachers should treat students with respect. Which of the following best describes interdisciplinary teaching? A strategy that can help a teacher collaborate with a teacher of another subject. Effective instructional feedback provided verbally to students by a teacher in physical education class helps which of the following? Skill acquisition. Which of the following is a common teaching cue for shooting a basketball? A common teaching cue for shooting a basketball foul shot is the acronym BEEF. Balance the ball in the shooting hand, keep the elbow under the ball and over the knee, keep the eyes on the target, and follow through by snapping the wrist. FIT, F-I-T-T, is an acronym for fitness and weight training. APE stands for adaptive physical education. HOPS is an acronym for injury evaluation. Do you want to go, Melissa, or I can take it if you want it.
No, I can go.
Okay.
Fitness components list. Body composition refers primarily to the
I can read things too if you need someone to read things.
Okay, you can rotate. Refers primarily to the distribution of muscle and fat in the body. Body size, such as height, lengths, and girths, are also grouped under this component. Muscular strength, the ability to carry out work against a resistance. Muscular endurance, the ability to repeat a series of muscle contractions without fatiguing. Power, the ability to exert a maximal force in a short time as possible, as in accelerating, jumping, and throwing. Implement speed, component of fitness. Speed and quickness is the ability to move quickly across the ground or move limbs rapidly, or to grab or throw. Agility is the ability to quickly change body position or direction of the body. Flexibility is the capacity of a joint to move through its full range of motion, which is important for execution of the technique of sports. Balance and coordination is the ability to stay upright or stay in control of body movement, an important component of many sports skills. Cardiovascular endurance or aerobic fitness. Stamina is the ability to exercise continuously for extended periods without tiring. Motor skill. Gross motor skills are the basic skills developed when young, which can be developed upon with specific sports with training. Cardiovascular endurance / aerobic tests. Shuttle run test, speed test, walk or run test, step test. Strength and strength endurance. You got pull-ups, strength tests, push-ups, sit-ups, 1RM test, speed and power, and aerobic power. Sprint running test, sprint test, vertical jumps test, medicine ball throw, and aerobic capacity, sprint running test, Wingate test, sprint fatigue test, and intermittent sports.
Well, that's the last page of all this. Do you guys want to do a Kahoot? Like, I mean, I'll participate in it if you guys want to do it. I can send you the questions. The Kahoot is the same one we did the first one, but the only new things I have are a 25-minute like review video of a guy going over a bunch of content, just like what's in this. And I'm going to send you guys that regardless. But do you guys want to do the Kahoot, or do you want to just me to send you the questions?
Let's do the Kahoot.
Yeah, do the Kahoot.
Okay, cool.
A schmoot.
Didn't want everyone to be like, what's the point? But good.
I don't think everyone here was here last time, so I think it'll be good.
Okay. Cool.
I was cracking up watching the video because everyone was like, what are these questions? Because they're so random. They're like, we didn't learn this.
Olivia, you gotta be careful with these passwords on the screen. It's going up on YouTube. The world's gonna be seeing this.
Greg. I'm gonna get hacked. New host.
I don't think that many people are coming and looking at our videos. I will say though, that the VCLA study session has 30 views.
Ooh,
That one.
that's what's up. Kashmoot.it.
Greg, I would have been disappointed if you didn't use that name.
Greg the Egg.
His name always with
Yeah.
this.
M-Dog.
Good old Melissa. Nah, that's bullying. I can't say that. Teaching now.
Ashlyn, do you want to, are you just going to hang out, which is totally fine, or did you want to get it on Yes.
She messaged in the chat that she's just going to listen into the question.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. My bad.
No problem.
Oh, mine's so
Olivia with the basic name. Come on.
sorry, guys. I like typed it in and I was like, oh, that's so lame. Okay. Nice.
Break out the whip.
Olivia,
Huh?
are you okay with reading the questions and answers too?
Yes, I will. Sorry.
Awesome. No problem.
Which of the following hormone pairs works with the kidneys to assist in avoiding dehydration? Thyroxine and epinephrine, glucagon and cortisol, ADHD and aldosterone, HGH and insulin. That was not my best.
I'm really surprised I got that one right.
I got you with the odd numbers there, Olivia. Effective instructional verbal feedback helps develop which of the following: a cooperative environment, skill acquisition, student language skills, competition among students.
All right. J-Dog taking the lead.
There we go. She's on fire too.
Where should the teacher be when observing a physical education class? To assess a student's fitness level through the school year, baseline assessment, written assessment, summative assessment, or portfolio assessment. Portfolio.
Yeah, this next one, dog.
Okay. Portfolio.
During an exercise class, a 16-year-old with a heart rate of 140 is considered to be at the ventilatory threshold, hyperventilating, performing maximal exercise, performing submaximal exercise.
I knew it was that one.
I did not.
It made you else tonight.
Performing submaximal exercise. Greg the Egg.
Greg the Egg took my place.
To get money for a field day, the teacher should not hold the field day, contact parents and ask them to donate money, use the physical education budget to pay for it, or present a budget to the PTA and school admin. Nice.
Not hold the field day, really. What kind of answer is that?
I know. Field day is like what I'm most excited about.
Most widely used and regularly issued resource for planning and professional development in PE is PE Coach, Journal of Physical Education, Recreation and Dance, Sports Illustrated, Coach, and Athletic Director. Little Joe Purd action.
Which of the following federal laws ensures appropriate education for students with disabilities? Title IX of Education Amendments Act, EEA, Individuals with Disabilities Act, IDA, Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. Nice.
Which of the following about the mature overhand throw is true? Forearm lags behind upper arm and shoulder during forward movement. Throwing action begins with a push off on forward leg. Forearm and upper arm move forward together. Non-throwing hand remains close to the body until release.
That one I had to really think about, like the words.
I know. I was like imagining how it would go in my head. A person who requires more of a substance to obtain the same effect is experiencing tolerance, physiological addiction, psychological addiction, or withdrawal.
It can happen with coffee too, not just the hard stuff.
You're not kidding, Greg.
Which route of administration gets drugs into the bloodstream the fastest? Subcutaneous injection, intramuscular, intravenous, or oral dosage?
Said,
Maybe subcutaneous, that's skin. I don't know that one.
yeah, I think subcutaneous is skin, and the intravenous is your veins. I think subcutaneous is skin, but I'm not sure. The leading cause of death for smokers is not lung cancer, but rather diabetes, pneumonia, stroke, or heart attack. Heart attack.
The CDC believes that coordinating school health into a systematic approach will provide legal protection for teachers, build partnerships among professionals in the school, contain or prevent controversy with parents, reduce healthcare costs. This is one of those stupid questions.
Yeah, this is kind of stumping me. I guess I should have read the right answer. I'm sorry. Does anybody remember what that right answer was?
Building professional relationships in the school, something like that.
Yeah. Which of the following is the leading cause of death among school-age children? Accidents, heart disease, interpersonal violence, childhood cancers. Accidents.
Accidente.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these statements about suicide is true? All suicides are based in irrational thoughts. Most people who commit suicide have talked about it. Substance use reduces the risk of suicide. Suicide is proof that the person has a mental illness. Okay, I just picked the wrong one under duress because I was reading the question. Damn it.
Darn it. So most people who commit suicide have talked about it.
And J-Dog takes the lead.
Greg the Egg got to third with that one.
Which of the following best describes the philosophy of holistic health? Illness is in any part of the human being will affect the whole. Physical illness is not connected to mental state/emotions. Mind and body are two separate concerns. Using herbs and non-Western medicine to treat illnesses. Oh, I got that one wrong. Illness in any part of the human being will affect the whole.
So a way to remember that one is it's like holistic, so whole body.
Okay.
Holistic, whole body.
All of the following are essential nutrients except carbohydrates, simple sugars, minerals, fats. Why the hell did I just pick the wrong one again?
I did too.
God, dang it. I can't read and think. Oh, it's terrible.
Simple sugars. Sugar. The presence of the ozone layer in the upper atmosphere is important because It enhances the greenhouse effect. It absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiation. It reduces the amount of acid rain and urban smog. It has led to sharp increases in all types of skin cancer. Nice. Last one.
Amniocentesis is most often used to facilitate artificial insemination, measure immune response capability in transplant recipients, determine the presence of certain disorders in the fetus, tell the mother's potential for bringing a pregnancy to term.
I really did not know that one.
I got that one right, guys.
Go, Jessica. Determine the
I had no idea.
Determining the presence of certain disorders in the fetus. Good to know. All right, let's see it.
Oh, dog. There we go.
Break your egg.
Go, J-Dog.
19 out of 20. That Jessica Baker, man.
All right.
By the way.
Okay, I'll put the link to this one in the chat again for you, Melissa and Ashlyn.
And I'll also, whenever I post this to YouTube, the recording, I'll add the link to this to the YouTube. That way you can access it if for some reason you lose the link or something.
Yeah, and I'm going to give this Word document to Jessica to put there too. But thanks for coming, Melissa and Ashlyn. That's all I got, really.